folks. This is Alicia with Alicia's Desk, and tonight, after much confusing and a few different misunderstandings, you'd almost think Mercury was in retrograde again, but no, not so much, just fun. We are going to be interviewing tonight Dennis McCullough, who is going to be putting in, he's already put in for the 48-hour film challenge, and it's basically, the 48-hour film challenge is a local program. It's gone international, but our local chapter, what they do is you get a weekend. So you get Saturday and Sunday, 48 hours to write, direct, produce, act, and edit, and get in on time a less than 10-minute play. Well, movie. And so Dennis McCullough's team is Theater Genesis Productions, which he heads up himself. And this year, yours truly is on the writing team. So more than likely, I'm probably going to be leaning it toward the supernatural. But anyway, hold on here just one moment. Now, Dennis McCullough, he has been active in the theater community around Des Moines for a long time now, probably over a decade at least, via Southsider Studios and a few different teams like that. But I believe, you know what, I'm going to have him tell you when he started his own theater company, because I am not 100% for sure. But he, a few years ago, decided to start his own company because he wanted to work on some deeply spiritual projects. And I'm inviting him on. So we will wait for good old Dennis, and while we wait, I will give you a little bit of an update. Des Moines New Age Shop is still closed due to tornado damage, and we're still waiting on repairs. I do apologize for not getting you guys that second half of Sacrifices and Rewards, simply because I have been sick with migraines and stuff all week. It's probably due to stress, maybe stress just a little bit. But I will be doing, I'm going to be doing a multi-posting this week once I get done with the other writing project I've been doing. Since the store's been down, I've been devoting my time to some of the other projects I have, and it's actually going pretty well. So while I'm not excited the store's closed, I am excited to be able to have time to focus. And Arthur's loving it. You know, we're just hanging out. We're working on stuff. He's playing. It's just wonderful, you know. But it also sucks that the shop's been closed. So hold on here. Let me message Dennis and see what he's doing. Are you having trouble getting on? Interesting. Okay, I apologize, folks. Dennis might be having trouble. The tech gremlins have been hell this last week. I don't know if they got riled up by the storm or what, but communication and tech gremlins, right? And yes, I'm chugging coffee at 9:46 at night. Okay, hold on. Okay, yep, he's having trouble with the links. Give me a minute here. How are you all? Let me know. And remember, Dennis is always looking for editors and actors and writers for his team. So if any of you all would like to take a crack at it, I'm sure he would be more than happy to have you on his team. He does really well with this stuff. And some of his writing, see, the shop has sponsored Theater Genesis a couple of times simply because I've seen his writing and what he can do. If you get a chance, go to his YouTube and look up the Ludwig incident. That is probably one of my favorites of all the short films he's done. And he's attempting to establish a Patreon as we speak. But he's got a really good flair for writing and a good flair for direction. So, and the 48-hour film projects, oh, right, I forgot to mention, the 48-hour film projects were so popular that they expanded out into 2 things per year. One is your regular, your more art house, abstract kind of thing, but the other one is your horror 48-hour film, and that happens right around Halloween. So, needless to say, that one I'm excited for too. I don't know if I will be on the writing team for the Halloween session, Halloween challenge, but if I am, I am definitely looking forward to it, but I'm also looking forward to this one. I look forward to all of them. All right, hold on. Here we go. And Dennis. What's going on? Okay, I'm not sure what's up. Hold on. Here we go. And boop.
Wasn't ready yet.
Sorry. All right, I'll remove you. It is just utter chaos. Utter unfettered chaos. Anyway, so I am looking forward to it. We do have Elizabeth Brenner on the team, and she's bringing with her band. So I have my fingers crossed for musical. Let's see. The different categories on the 48-hour film. Actually, let's go ahead and look it up. Let's see. Hold on. 48-hour film challenge categories. Okay. Hold on. Well, here, how many categories? Okay, there are 11 supergenres, and it's action, crime, fantasy, horror, romance, science fiction, slice of life, sports, thriller, war, and western. I have to say, I'm kind of hoping for fantasy, crime, horror, or science fiction, although romance could be fun. So could slice of life. Let me message him and see if he's ready to go. Hold on here. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah. I am actually really, I'm enjoying this. Okay, let's see. It hasn't quite gotten back to me yet. Anyway, all right, fine. I will talk a little bit about what's coming up for me. Now, the 48-hour film challenge is this weekend, so it's going to be Saturday and Sunday. I'm only going to be on the writing team since I'm just not sure if I'm really ready for acting, I don't know about that. But I do have quite a few writing contests coming up, and I have a couple of anthologies in the works that I'm going to put directly to print through the small publishing house that I'm through. And then I just have to get everything edited and correlated together, collated, and all that fun stuff. And, it's kind of a thing of wondering what to leave out. And then I am like this close, guys. I am this close to finishing the tarot journal. So fingers crossed. The tarot journal and the rune journal. Hang on. Okay. Let's see if he's ready to go yet. So I'm this close to a lot of the projects coming to completion. And, I've been working on them for the tarot and rune journals. I've been working on them for a while. At first I was like, oh, we got a whole bunch of other ones out on the market, why bother? But then I realized that my clients at the shop and things like that, they actually needed something a little bit more specific and tooled to their needs. Hold on. All right. And Dennis is ready.
Or at least about as ready as I'm going to be.
Okay. Hi, Dennis. How are you?
Sitting on the floor because sitting in the chair just didn't look right.
Okay, I get that.
I look like my grandmother.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay. Did she wear a lot of tie-dye?
No, but she was fairly large and always sat in the chair.
I see.
Yeah.
All right, Dennis. So I've done a little bit of an introduction, but why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself, the 48-hour film challenge, and Theater Genesis production company?
Well, you said a little bit about myself. Well,
let's.
I was born in 1978 to a 17-year-old or 18-year-old woman named my mom, and
you don't see that very often.
No, not very often at all. But I then grew up mostly on the south side of Des Moines, and scraped through high school, barely graduating. But then I went into the Navy, failed at that, and then tried college a couple of times. failed at that, went truck driving, did okay with that. I'm like, but I don't want to do this. So I went back to college, Granby University. And then, how little were you expecting? Just
no, I'm just all righty then.
And then let's see.
I'm just checking to make sure we're online.
Let's say it says live, been on for 11 minutes now. So
I know, but anyway, sometimes it doesn't quite click over to Facebook. And so I just wanted to make sure. That way, anybody who wants to ask you questions also can.
Oh, well. Anyway, so graduated college, did really well in college. I mean, it matters if you actually care what's going on there. And then tried working in theater, didn't work out. And then just been worked odd jobs here and there. Managed to get married in all of this. Lovely, lovely woman. I don't deserve her. I'm surprised she lowered her standards for me.
And I heard you had a kid.
Well, yeah, I've heard you had a kid too. Weird. But yeah, he is the most adorable thing ever. And I hope he makes an appearance tonight.
I don't know if he will, but if he does, he's going to be streaking through the background going, whee!
He won't be streaking through here. I've pretty much blocked the entire living room. And so, and then, strangely enough, right after he was born, that's when Theater Genesis was birthed.
Really?
Yeah. Because I was also doing, I wasn't just doing films with Theater Genesis. I was also doing theater with Theater Genesis.
One writer, 1 week.
And 7-Eleven Theater Project.
Yeah. I've tried to purge 7-Eleven from my mind after what happened there.
Yeah, I know, but we still kept going back.
Well, yeah, I know, but woo, yeah, I know.
Did another 3 years with the 7-Eleven Theater Project, and then it just kind of, turned out that the founder of the 7-Eleven Theater Project ended up being a pedo, and I don't know if I can actually, a map.
No, just say pedo. That's fine.
Well, let's put it this way. People at YouTube kind of get butthurt over that.
But you're just stating a fact. It actually came out, which is incredibly sad. Well, it's wrong, but it's also incredibly unfortunate because the 7-Eleven Theater Project actually was a wonderful venue. It was a wonderful project. Right. Unfortunately,
his revelation ended up being the death knell of the 7-Eleven Theater Project.
Well, we're glad that it was revealed. We're glad he's doing time. We're glad that slate is cleared, but I do wish that somebody had at least picked up the project and renamed it.
Yeah. And the one person I talked to about doing that, she simply said, you can't just rename it. You have to get the guy's permission, and nobody really wants to go talk to him. And
I don't blame them though.
I don't blame them either. He was creepy before we found out.
Yeah, I know, right? I always thought there was something a little off about him, but I was just like, when you gaslight yourself, you're like, nah, that can't be it.
Right. And so, but yeah, no, Theater Genesis getting off the ground the way it did, it was not, it wasn't just one smooth transition.
Right.
In fact, I have another job that I got to get up for here in about 7 hours. But it was not one smooth transition because we were doing almost exclusively theater.
You actually edit your wife's writing, is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. How good I do at it is a whole nother question. But,
all right. Go ahead. You were saying.
As I was saying, Theater Genesis did not just spring up out of nowhere. It kind of did actually, but it's not been one continuous project after another, because yes, I was doing the one actor, one writer, 1 week, and I loved doing it every year.
I know. It was a wonderful thing, but yeah, that went, didn't that fold with COVID?
There was one more after COVID,
But it was a
and then it
mess.
folded.
If I remember correctly, it was a mess.
Yeah, no, the 2020 one actor, one writer, 1 week, we were it's it started like March 10th or maybe March 11th, 3/11. And we were all paired up, we're working together, we're getting everything ready to go. And then that Sunday, it was a Sunday night, world is shut down in the middle of the project. And they canceled stuff. And they canceled the 7-Eleven, or not 7-Eleven, they canceled the one actor, one writer, 1 week performances. And that has still never seen the light of day. It is one of my current projects I'd like to get off the ground.
Didn't they slap an injunction that nobody could actually use the film or something like that?
For the one actor, one writer, 1 week?
Yeah, because they filmed it, didn't they? But you couldn't actually get into the footage?
Well, I don't know where you heard that.
Okay.
Because the Theater Genesis does have a YouTube channel.
Yes, I know. And that's actually, I need you to message me that on Facebook so I can put it in the comments.
Bear with me. I'm pulling it up right now.
You said to bear with you. I don't see a bear.
Well, give me a moment. I can certainly make that happen. All right. And here's a neat little trick I'm going to do.
Now, I also heard that you're going to be starting a Patreon for the Theater Genesis productions. Is that true?
Starting up a what?
Patreon.
At some point when I can remember to do it.
And I do know also that you're going to be producing a few more short films from the different short stories, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And I have no idea how to put that on here.
Share.
Okay, so we're going to add to stage.
Yep, there you go. And that is the Theater Genesis YouTube page. I can.
No, just
this is how I do it.
The link. That way I can put it in. But I do
I can also.
There we go. There we go.
See, here are all the uploads.
Oh my God.
And so, this one here is the last. That's the last one actor, one writer, 1 week, and this one here is the last the last 48-hour film project movie or film 48-hour film horror.
Yeah.
The 48-hour horror film project.
And I remember when you were doing that one. God, I like Arlen. You were working with Arlen.
Oh, I'll work with Arlen all day long.
I know, right?
I work with him every chance I get.
You know,
I hope you're. Yeah, there's Arlen again for Out to Pasture. Second year. That was an interesting one because that's 2016, right?
God, that was the year
you were sitting there. You were sitting there with me.
Was born.
Yeah, but yeah, this is 2016, and if you remember right, this was the one. This was the one actor, one writer, 1 week.
Coach.
Well, yeah, it is. But this was that year. Everybody, and I mean everybody, with the exception of me and one other person, did a political play.
Yeah, I know. I got very bored with that very quickly.
I got annoyed.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, this one here is what we did last summer for the 48. This is the one I seem to get. This is the one I seem to watch the most out of all the one actors.
Although I can't remember where or when has 161 views, so that must be quite popular.
Well, yeah. I mean, I also shared it. Trust me, I didn't just sit on it.
Right.
But yeah, there's the director's cut of As We Wake, because there's one major thing I had to fix before I could put this up. This is our first one from the 48-hour film, 48-hour horror film project.
Right.
This one's my first one actor, 1 week. And so, and by the way, these have more views on the one channel, One Actor, One Writer, One Week channel.
Right. No, I know.
This is the first 48-hour film project we did.
94 views. That's pretty substantial, dude.
Yeah. And then you might remember this one.
Let me see.
That's the one about the guardian angel.
Oh, yes. It's a shame that only has 10 views because that one was quite good. Though Adrift has 82 views. I'm always curious. I wonder if it's the titles that are pulling people in.
To be fair, I don't know. If I knew how these algorithms worked, I would have exploited them and possibly even written a book on how to exploit them.
Okay.
Flood the world with millionaires on YouTube.
Right.
And so, and Zeppers, I've got more I've got to put up here. I was trying to put up. You might notice there is one in particular that's missing. So, starring this man.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's the one of him as the death row inmate, and then the other one that I was speaking about, and I believe you did it under Southsider Studio Productions. Is that correct? It's the Ludwig Experience.
Yes. Yeah, I did, and believe it or not, that's 2008. I said 2008. Sorry, 2010 when that one was done.
Okay.
And so, yeah, but there's also one 7-Eleven theater project that I worked with Southsider Studios on. I do have permission to put them up as long as I, give them a thank you for Southsider Studios. I mean, I was working for them at the time, and I get that. So, let's go ahead.
I found the Theater Genesis YouTube link, so I'll go ahead and put that in there. Because
go ahead, and I'm going to stop sharing the screen.
Okay.
And
all right, there we go. It's in there now. But no, when I saw the Ludwig Experience, that really let me know that your gift was writing for film. Because
Ludwig Experience, by the way.
Ludwig, excuse me. My apologies for mispronouncing, but that really told me that you had a gift for writing, and that's what I really want to see. I love it. That and the other one, God, that's the one I wish got filmed and you could put up. It was the one that had John and Stevie in it and Paul.
Yeah, the guide. That is the last thing I did with Southsider Studios.
Okay, I wish you could put that up because honestly, that one.
I have actually found it on YouTube.
I think you should really put it up and share it. The Ludwig Experience and the guide. Those two and the one with Arlen as the death row inmate, those three are just absolute gold. But then again, that's me, and I do prefer a more spiritual message.
And dang it. Hold on. I found it.
Okay, perfect.
And let me do this part again. I know. It's like.
But also too, now we talked a little bit about your journey. What brought you to film? What made you open Theater Genesis Productions? And then what brought you to doing film, to writing, to directing, to wanting to make your own production company? What was it that inspired you to do all that?
Go ahead and present that real quick.
Okay. There we go. The guide. That is
and a little bit more about that is by the way, there's the link. That's the hold on, let me try that again. And tonight, ladies, mute that because if you don't especially knowing that's the person speaking in that is the one that we were talking about earlier.
No, we don't want that kind of juju.
But you can see it's playing there. And what was your question? Go ahead.
By the way, folks, Dennis is a Gemini and a horse. That makes him a double Gemini or a double horse, whatever you would like.
Yeah. I will out-talk all of you and over-talk the host.
He is a bit nebulous.
Oh yeah, metal.
But he is also on the cusp of energy, so that cusp of Gemini Taurus. And when he and I first met, for the first few years that we were acquainted, he definitely showed the cusp of energy. But I will tell you, yes, he does get a bit nebulous. So I do have some notes here on things to ask him, so as I don't fall down those mental rabbit holes.
Yeah, the difference between 30-year-old Dennis and 46-year-old Dennis. So
All righty. Well, now I was hoping you were going to wear your glasses for this because I think you just look adorable in them, but that's okay.
well, the glass. Let's move on. I'd have a hard time seeing the screen, and you have other questions you want to get to, and I do need to get to bed some point.
Yes,
tonight.
I know, and
So,
I don't want to take up all our lovely people's night, but
you're asking me how it got started?
no, I wanted to know what brought you to film, what brought you to writing, what brought you to film. What inspired you to go down this path, and then what inspired you to actually start Theater Genesis Productions?
Believe it or not, I'm just going to say his name, Mike. He was the founder of Southsider Studios.
Mm-hmm.
I had known him since we were kids. I mean, legitimately 5 years old. We were in kindergarten together.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And don't get me wrong, there's no bad blood between us at all. All right. I would still work with Mike if given the opportunity.
Right.
And so, but truth be told, when it came to Southsider Studios, doing the Ludwig experience, that was, I was ecstatic. I did direct. I helped write it. I did direct it.
And you had to really push for that, didn't you? You had to really push to get in there, right?
Yeah. Give me
the writing
end. Yeah, I really had to push to get in on that part.
Well, it was worth it. You did a wonderful job.
And yeah, that was the thing when I don't want to get too negative here, but truth be told, it honestly felt as though I was not necessarily being gatekept, but there was no faith in my abilities to do anything on the team other than maybe hold a mic once in a while, or occasionally act like a buffoon.
Well,
and believe me, I can act like a buffoon. I'm really good at that. All right.
Okay, so that was your starting point for Theater Genesis. Is that correct?
Yeah, I started off in Southsider Studios. When it came to the 7-Eleven theater projects, I actually dragged them into that. Right. I'm the one who said, hey.
Right. Because they didn't actually want to do live theater, correct?
Right. They also didn't think it, we're a movie studio. I don't think live theater really mixes well. I'm like, it mixes better than you think.
Okay.
It mixes better than you think, sir. All right. But we did it. He's like, all right. But at the same time, it also helped that I footed the bill to get us in there.
Right. So you basically put your money where your mouth was.
Yeah. Once I paid the money to get in that first one.
Mike being the good Capricorn was like, you're paying? Sure, bud, whatever, do it.
Yeah, no, that's probably, well, not only that, the entire studio got in on it at that point. Everybody else that was associated with it just, was like, all right, let's do this.
Yeah.
All right. And the sad part is this kid that was one of the kids we had in that one. The play was called The Night Forgotten. Okay. And that one is lost to time because I don't think they were filming the plays yet.
Well, drat.
I mean, I could be wrong. I have to go look. But, yeah, no, there was one kid that I called in for that because we needed an actor to fill the part.
Right.
Right. And so I called him in. He couldn't make it to any of the rehearsal times that we had. And so I directed him. I made sure he had his lines down. I made sure he had the acting down that he needed to do when he got up there on stage, and he nailed it. He nailed it. I mean, it was a small part, but he nailed it.
That's good.
And like I said, for some reason, I cannot remember his name anymore. He's a good kid, a nice kid. I went to Grandview with.
Yeah.
But, and if you're watching this, if you ever want to work with me again, I'll be more than happy to have you.
Right.
But yeah, we did that one year. Actually, they put me and one other guy down as co-directors of the play, and we
Okay.
both actually won Best Direction that year.
Nice.
Um, and, oh, yep. And then, all right, yeah, got started in Southsider Studios, and yeah, I'm trying to remember the question. We all got started. Yeah, I did get started in Southsider Studios with Theater Genesis.
I was going to
It was
say,
still
no, I
Southsider
asked
Studios at the time.
why you started Theater Genesis production.
All right, and I'm slowly but surely getting there.
This gonna take all night, homie.
I don't want it to either.
I
But
know,
yeah,
right?
the Ludwig experience, I remember now. I got that one because almost everybody in the studio was going to be at Jason's wedding. Jason Wright, Jay Wright.
Wow.
They were almost all of them were at his wedding that night, and so I understand why they couldn't help with this one. They all were busy, marrying off a friend,
Yeah.
and so.
And he's a sweetie.
And sad part is I was also invited to that wedding.
Okay.
I was also invited to that wedding, but I'm like, I can't, man. We got this International Film Challenge that weekend. Congratulations. I hope you have many kids. He's now got 3.
Nice. Good job.
And so, but yeah, no, Ludwig experience. I helped write it. I did direct it, lost a lot of sleep over it. You might remember I was like next day after it's been mailed off and everything, like, okay, no, I can't do it. I'm done. I'm just done. I took another day off of work.
I know.
So,
I know.
which no, actually I was still at Grandview at that point. Regardless, I still didn't go anywhere the next day either. But give you an idea how much energy that these film projects take, folks. Yeah.
A little bit.
But then I Sunday night after everything has been finished and I'm getting ready to mail it out the next morning, we all meet down at Mike's house to show the film.
Right.
Trevor was the main editor in that one. I stayed up with him as much as possible. And I said Sunday night. It was Monday nights when we premiered the film for the studio.
Oh my.
Because the International Film Challenge was basically 72 hours versus 48.
Right. Now, out of curiosity, the International Film Challenge, have you done that since? Under
I
Theater
have
Genesis?
not.
Is it still
have not.
available? Is it still going on?
That my initial instincts say no.
Okay.
I don't think it is.
Okay.
But at the same time, there's only so many times I can do this thing a year. Do these film challenges every year.
My question is, I mean, I know you have 48-hour film and then you have 48-hour horror. Okay. But, I guess what makes you want to do these? What is it that drives you to do film? What is it that inspires you?
Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
I hope this isn't a therapy session.
No.
Honestly, I just
You'd have to pay me for that.
Yeah, I know how I'd pay it as well. So, not to make the comparison because it's not the best one, but it's the only one I can think of. Kind of like Naruto. Nobody believed he could do anything, and so here I am, trying to prove him wrong. And so
Okay.
I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination.
So basically, you're proving them wrong and making videos of it.
Yes, I am.
I'm
you're
going to
right.
prove you wrong. I'm going to take pictures, and I'm going to take more pictures, and I'm going to send you the pictures, right?
Yep, and I'm.
It is amazing what can get done out of spite, but I never really expected spite out of a Gemini.
You have to remember that Gemini ego. Tell them they can't do something, and it's like, oh yeah, challenge accepted. And so
I'm gonna remember that.
Yeah. Yep. I cannot clean the living room. It's just not going to happen. So,
okay, so now, are there any other live theater projects in Des Moines or around Des Moines? Around Iowa, I guess.
currently, none that I know of.
Okay.
The one actor, one writer, 1 week. Actually, 2022 was the last year they did that,
Okay.
and basically they were losing money every year doing it.
Right.
So they just decided, no, it's too much. It's too much work for little to no gain.
Yeah.
And that was that. It went on 9 out. It went on 7 out of the. Sorry. It went on. They did this one actor, one writer, 1 week for 8 out of 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Because the first one was 2012.
Right.
And then I joined it in 2013. And by God, I made sure to hit each and every single one of them that came up.
Now, is your wife supportive about all this stuff? I heard she was the one that originally found it for you. Is that correct?
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, go ahead and pat yourself on the back there. Anybody watching this already knows that she's my wife. I'm just,
I guess my question is,
was I supposed to leave that cat in the bag? I'm sorry.
My question is, do you have a lot of support at home, or is this kind of more your thing that you do?
Truth be told, Alicia, you are the one who ultimately pushed me into going into the one actor, one writer, 1 week. I initially wasn't interested, and then I'm like, And then you're
so
like,
was it like a soft push, or was it like it was a fairly soft, chasing you down and throwing you off the cliff into it?
Yeah, no, I was thrown over a cliff. Definitely.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. You love throwing people over cliffs. But no, ultimately, I just remember you saying, "Hey, why don't you go ahead and give this a try? It might be fun. Mm-hmm. It might also help get you out of this funk."
Well, no, and the other thing was I actually paid the entry fee so you couldn't back out.
Yeah, I forgot about that part.
I was like, by the way, it's already paid. Here you go. You're like,
okay. Well, I mean, $10 is $10. Do you want me to pay it back that $10 or?
No.
Okay, good, because I don't have it. The life of a production company.
I don't have it either.
Cash poor.
Small business.
We are cash poor. Thank you.
Don't worry about it. I think everybody is right now. But okay, so what was it originally that inspired you to go into film? Was it working with Southsider Studios, or did you already want to do this yourself?
Working with Southsider Studios did create that little bit of a push to want to work in film.
Now, I know you also went to college for this stuff.
I went to college for theater. Mm-hmm. And believe me, for some reason, the theater people and the film people see themselves in these two exclusive clubs.
Yeah.
All right. Because strangely enough, at one point, while I'm in college, fairly early on in college, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to study theater to make myself more useful to Southsider Studios.
Oh, that is really sweet. That is really wonderful. You're spending your money to go to college and you're actually trying to help your friends. That is amazing.
And I will also state, though, when I did break off to go to start up Theater Genesis, mm-hmm. In which the guide was the first time I actually did. Yeah, the guide, believe it or not the guide, Adrift. Adrift mm-hmm. was the first project I did outside of Southsider Studios.
Mm-hmm. And you did a great job. I always thought that you left Southsider Studios to pursue more spiritually minded projects, because I know they started going down the road of just constant parody comedy. And while they were good, it's, you wanted to do something a little deeper. At least that's what I had originally thought.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Again, I'm not trying to throw them under the bus. No. All right. I am still on good terms with them, and I would gladly work with them again. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's basically, we had creative differences. That's the best way to put it. Just because you have creative differences doesn't mean you have to destroy the hotel room.
Oh, dear God. No.
Or slip them smack or something like that. The way Mama Sue would do it.
Whoa! Okay.
Yeah, just because you have,
Oh,
and generally that's how different studios get started. Hey, I think we should go down this route. I really think you guys should try something different. We got this. We're good. I was like, oh, okay.
okay, bye-bye.
Yeah. And I was talking with Mike one night. I think it was a New Year's Eve, which those could be interesting conversations. Let me tell you.
I am
I
good.
am certain I know I was sober at that point. When talking to him about it, I simply told him, I was like, I'm sorry. I'm actually literally. I'm like, hey man, I'm sorry. I'm actually thinking about starting up my own studio, my
Yeah.
own production company. He's like, and Mike's like, go for it, man. Absolutely.
Oh, that's really cool.
I
I'm glad.
Yeah, no, and I was not the first to break away from
Right.
Southsider Studios.
Has he spawned like 4 production companies?
I think so. I just know that
Now that's a point of pride.
I know that Mixed Pictures, or Nick Strickland, also known as Strict Nine,
Yeah.
he actually was probably, I think he was the first to break away,
Right.
making his own, and he's since the 48 got started 20 years ago, he's actually won 2 of them with his
Wow.
team.
That's awesome. Now,
Yeah,
have
he won
Southsider
2011 and he won last year. So
wow, that's interesting. Have Southsider Studios won any of them?
2. I was actually in that first one they won.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, because the previous 2 years, it was like the third year of the theater. That was the third year of the 40-hour film project.
Right.
Right. First year went to the first year was Team Last to Enter, who won it with the Mimes of the Prairie. You still see clips of that today during the 40-hour intro.
Right.
And speaking of which, Team Last to Enter is also in my filming group this year, so this is going to be interesting.
Ooh, they're always pretty good.
Now that I think about it, though, they were also in the our filming group for the first year at the 48.
Okay.
They had the deliveries with the boxes that you open it up and they turn out to be babies.
Yeah, I loved that one. That was so sweet.
Yeah. And then the next year was some team from Omaha, I think it was, or maybe Kansas City, that they decided to enter the Des Moines contest thinking it was going to be easy.
Okay.
It turns out they ended up winning. I think the movie was called The Man-Eating Dumpster or something like that.
Wow. Okay.
And then the next year, Southsider Studios went with City Cops.
Right.
And at that point, I'm legitimately growing I had a lot more hair than this, and it's like down to my shoulders, and I got a more full beard than this, but I'm supposed to be playing some Yakuza gangster.
I remember seeing you in that. That was so odd. That was
really was
odd.
I know, but we won Best in City that year, and then there were a few more where a lot of awards were handed out Southsider Studios, and I know the last time they won, it was called Puppy Love.
Okay.
I was not on for that one. In fact, that was one of the years where I was actually at Anime Iowa with you, and so.
True.
But at the same time, Puppy Love was actually very good as well, and Sarge got to be in that one.
Now, Sarge,
not his first appearance.
Sarge is Mike's dog, correct?
Yes, he was.
Oh. Well, rest in peace.
Yeah. Sarge has been gone now for, I want to say, 6 years.
Wow.
So, yeah. No, I loved Sarge. I miss Sarge.
I know.
Can we get a dog?
No.
Okay, fine. I'm going to show up one of these days with a show of Squeatley. And nobody's going to notice because they're not sneezing.
Oh, Arthur would love a dog. You know that. So.
Oh, yeah, I know he would. Oh, God, I know he would.
At this point, both Arthur and I could benefit from a therapy dog, but the poor thing would have anxiety.
Oh, if you're looking for anxiety, we can get you a Chihuahua.
Okay, but back on track. Back on track. Now we've covered a little bit about why you started Theater Genesis. We've covered a little bit about a lot about Southsider Studios, and a little bit about why you got into this. What direction are you taking Theater Genesis? What is it that you want to do with Theater Genesis? Do you want to inspire people? I mean, what is it that really drives you?
What really drives me, honestly, especially with Theater Genesis, I'll let you know when I figure that part out too. For the most part, though, um, and yeah, people have actually noticed that whatever I put out there tends to have a more spiritual meaning to it.
Right.
With the 48, and I'll be honest, with the 48, it's not been that easy because
No.
I kind of fell back into the habits of Southsider Studios. They're not bad. They're not bad habits. So, especially when it comes to the writing, right? When it comes to writing it, we actually have a team to actually brainstorm the night of kickoff.
Right.
Because if you only have one writer and they get writer's block, you're in trouble. All right. The first year that the Hill of Beans, Trouble Brewing,
Yeah.
right? We officially had three writers on that one.
Okay.
Three, yeah. The brainstorming session had far more people than that, but ultimately we had three people credited as writers on that when I was one of them. I also ended up being the director.
Right.
Which, writing and directing, not as daunting. But then with As We Wait came out, I'm finding it interesting for some reason. The horror films are more spiritually based than anything else.
That actually does not surprise me too much.
But yeah, no, As We Wake, we had two writers on that one.
Okay.
And two writers. Next morning, I'm directing. I'm also filming. I'm directing it. I'm running the camera.
Yeah.
I got another person. Luckily, I've got another 2 people, running audio for me because I certainly couldn't do both of those at the same time.
Right.
And then later on that night, I got home about 10 o'clock, in bed by 10:15. Took a 4-hour nap, got back up, edited the entire day from 2:30 in the morning up until 5 o'clock when the whole damn thing crashed and I lost the movie. I lost about 6 hours of work when that thing crashed.
And that is one of those editing.
Yeah, which, I mean, I had something I could submit, but it was definitely not the greatest. But I did get some of it fixed back up and resubmitted that one. Still looked terrible on screen. So I could see the mistakes and things that could not get fixed in time.
Right.
And then only to have our movie being followed up by a guy fucking a pumpkin.
Yeah.
Terrible, terrible movie. And I laughed through the whole damn thing.
I was going to say, I was just like, I remember sitting beside you and then Armando on the other side of you. And I'm sharing my popcorn with her and we're both like, what am I watching? What? This is the what?
Yeah,
I mean, it was funny and all, but I did not think they would actually allow that in the 48-hour horror.
Honey, we showed a man's naked ass in our film too. Keep that in mind. That's probably why those two got put next to each other.
Okay, well, you know what?
The nudity in our piece was not gratuitous, where the implied nudity in his piece certainly was.
So. No, it wasn't gratuitous. It went along with the story, but wow. Anyway, but moving on. Okay, so tell me what your hopes are for this 48-hour film coming up, what you're looking forward to. By the way, I'm very excited to be on the writing team this time. Super duper excited. So thank you for that.
I want to win it all, honestly. I want to win this.
Okay,
All right.
that's the spirit. But what are your hopes? What category are you hoping for? What categories are there? You know, how
I
do
was looking for that. Give me a second.
I found it. It looks like 11 super genres: action,
Yeah,
crime,
those are the
fantasy,
super
horror.
genres.
Okay, so they're
They actually have. Bear
primary
with me
film
here.
genres include action, adventure, comedy, drama, fantasy, horror, musicals, mystery, romance, science fiction, sports, thriller, and western.
Yeah, those are the super genres. But here we go. Genre drawing. All right. Here we
And
go.
I guess the other thing is,
Present.
do you plan these out a little bit ahead, or is it all that night for you guys?
The last 2 years, I've tried to plan them out.
Mm-hmm.
I legitimately tried to plan them out. It's like, well, this genre will work with that, and this genre here will work with this. Get stories going through my head and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But then, with the year we did Hill of Beans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which that was film to femme, as well as
Just
where it was film to femme and heist film.
okay.
Those were the two genres we got that year. And
Oh,
I'm
wow,
noticing there's a lack of heist this year. Regardless,
it's really too
um,
bad. I always thought the heist films were fun.
well, and we did have fun on that shoot. All right, believe me, we had a lot of fun on that one.
Okay.
But yeah, that's us combining the two to make a film that somewhat makes sense. And regardless, I had a plan for mockumentary. I had a plan for revenge. Don't unshare that. I'm legit. Yeah,
Okay.
I had a plan for a lot. I mean, a lot of different genres. Okay.
Okay.
And then I draw the genres, and it was like two genres I planned nothing for. I
Right.
had no plan at all for
Okay.
those two genres because one, film to femme, I mean, I'm not above it. At the same time,
This was the Divine's way of saying, nope, better be original. Go. Right?
yeah, heist film, those have to be done smartly. They have
Yes.
to be done intelligently. Okay, which I find odd. I had 2 out of the 3 actors on the crew there trying to steal that box from her. Turned out to be total idiots.
I know, right? But I will tell you, it was a really fun
The
one.
actors,
It was a fun
yeah,
gig.
the actors are not idiots, but we made
No.
the characters idiots. It's
God,
like,
I wish you could get Brian back, Brian Blackwood. Have you
yeah,
asked him?
he's going to be in Iowa, and during the
Oh,
winter and during the horrors, he's at
during the
Red Fair.
horror, he's not available. Well, for some of the other short films you're doing, I would love to see him in there because him, Arlen, Craig, all of them really are wonderful. And Elizabeth Bunner just glows on screen. I mean, she's just like, whoa,
Who was Craig again?
Craig, your buddy, Scorpio, Craig.
Oh, Craig.
Are you okay?
I'm old.
You're not that old. Damn. All right.
Anyway,
Anyways.
yeah, no, I'm looking through the genres. These are the genres that will be available to us next week,
Okay.
as you can see. And I am noticing, yeah.
See, I kind of hope you get Who Done It.
No, be quiet. No, and I'm not. If I get it, if I get it, yes, we'll do it.
Fine. What I would hope for to get is fantasy,
Because
horror, sci-fi, superhero would be fun, thriller would be great, buddy film would be
you
good.
really want us to do those freaking special effects.
You don't need special effects to do any of these.
If you want it to look good, yes, you do.
Honey, remember, what have the movies in Hollywood done lately? They've gone with more special effects and less heart. You actually need a good story. A good story transcends any genre.
It does. It really does.
Okay. So
Um,
buddy film would be fun.
I
Dance film would be great. We've got Elizabeth Bunner for this one.
I don't know if she
Inspiration.
dances though. I know she sings.
She's a belly dancer.
Oh yeah, that's right. Um, whatever.
Inspirational film, musical would be really fun. Revenge, road movie. And
I
then
the
whodunit.
road movie is another one of those I don't necessarily want to do because of the technical aspects that we don't have. All right. Um, believe me, when you're doing a road movie, if you're having to film while a car is driving, your host, because that microphone's going to pick up all the background noise as well. It's going to
Out
pick
of
up the engine of the
curiosity,
car. It's going to
couldn't
pick up
you
the AC. It's going, if you want to do something like that, it
couldn't you
helps to
do
actually have a basically car on truck or trailer, right? They actually have rigs like this made up. You can put the car onto a truck, have the truck drive around while
well,
you're
I was
filming.
gonna say
That mean because that also means that while you're filming inside the car,
yeah,
you're not picking up that car's engine noise. You're not picking up that car's AC
right.
or the radio or anything like that. Radio can be put in post. All right.
Couldn't you green screen it? Just leave the car sitting there and just green screen things going by, drop a green cloth over the outside.
Where would I be able to do that and not have the green screen flying everywhere?
Just tack it down.
Yeah, I don't think it quite works that way, but
Okay. Well,
yeah,
then,
green screen. I know how to use a green screen. Okay, I do know how to. I do know how to do the color, the effects for a green screen. I do know how to do that.
right.
Right, but it's also time consuming to set it up.
Okay.
And when you only have 48 hours, we're not
True.
trying to do a lot of special effects. I was also going to mention one of the genres from last year is not on here. One of them that we had, which was the social commentary. There's social media / influencer film, but they specifically put up last year. It was social commentary or cop drama. And
See, cop drama would have been fun.
Yeah, I probably could have gotten. We actually did have two cops in the film. One being played by Elizabeth.
It could have been somebody just two people chasing down another one and tasing them. That would have been fun.
I'm not chasing anybody. Does it look like I run? Seriously.
Oh, okay. So what genre are you hoping for in the 48-hour film challenge?
I'll take any of them.
But what are you hoping for? What do you think would be the most fun what do you think would be the most challenging, and what do you think would be the most fun to try for this year?
I'm not looking for challenging. I'm trying to tell a good story. Right? It's also one of those things. Some of the things that we actually have access to right now for the 48 really makes me. I'm hoping for mockumentary or musical.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And to be fair, I've been interested in the challenge of a musical for a few years now.
Right.
I say a few years, probably a decade or more now. I've been interested in potentially doing a musical, but I have no musical talent. Okay. I might be able to play a triangle.
But and a cowbell.
Oh, everybody needs more cowbell. So
you got a fever and the only prescription is more cowbell.
Yes, definitely. But
yeah, we lost our one watcher with the cowbell comment. Actually, no, the video's been played multiple times. Multiple people have gone back and forth watching. But okay, so what are you hoping for? What are you worried about?
Of the genres? I just told you what I was hoping for.
Okay.
The one that actually truly scares me every year is comedy.
Really?
Everybody thinks like, hey, let's write this down and people will laugh. And then they don't laugh. All right. Prime example, right?
Mhm.
First year of the One Actor, One Writer, One Week, Allison Abridged,
Right.
right? I didn't put any laugh lines in that play. I
Mhm.
didn't. I just wrote down what I just wrote, typed, truth be told. But I wrote it out. She performed it, and people laughed at some of the lines.
Well, that is
Okay.
the best way to do it. Um,
Versus having to write down material purposefully to make people laugh.
right.
Which is why a lot of comedies fall flat. It's being billed as a comedy. People go in there expecting to, be, expecting to get some laughs.
Yeah.
Like Wayne's World 2. You go in there expecting to laugh, and then come to find out, you showed all the good parts of the trailer. This sucked.
Right. Right. Um,
I just dated myself with that one.
huh, I was gonna say, God, I remember what was it? It was one of the Howling movies, and it actually had one of my favorites, Christopher Lee, in it. And the way they did the end credits, they they cut stuff to make it just hilarious because it was a very serious and terrifying movie. It was a horrifying movie, but in the end credits, you just saw all these scenes cut together with sound effects. It was funny. Both my dad and I just dropped over laughing, and my dad, it takes a lot to get him to laugh. But it's honestly, you can cut stuff together to just make it, what the hell was that? And then you laugh.
Yeah. But I mean, also like last year with the Long Live Death, right?
Right.
This was ad libbed. We did not write in the line where the 11-year-old girl says, "What the fuck, Grandpa?"
Jeez.
But her mom, all right, her mom's like, "Hey, say this," and
Okay.
since her mom gave her permission, she's
Right.
going to do it. Ends up becoming the biggest laugh line of the night out of
Right.
all the movies at the premiere.
That's cool.
Ours got the biggest laugh of the night, and I'm like, okay, because I'm not about to write something in like that for a child.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay.
But
Now,
what's your next question?
well, my next question is, where do you see Theater Genesis Productions by the end of this year? How do you
Well,
want to make it grow? What direction do you want to take it in? How do you want it to grow? What are some things you would like it to achieve and accomplish outside of the 2 competitions this year?
I mean, believe it or not, I was, oh, see, I knew there were 2 potential, um, I knew there were 2 potential projects I was trying to get off the ground with. Um, I remember it now. I remember the second one now, because basically having a professional, having a professional crew help with one of the 2 projects that I'm currently working on. And
Okay.
so, one of them being the haikus and saxophone piece that one from the One Actor, One Writer, One Week that never saw the light of day because of COVID. I would
And I
love to
know
get
you're
that filmed.
also wanting to dedicate that to the memory of your professor that was passed on, correct?
Maybe. I do want to get something dedicated to him, yes. And frankly, it probably would. It could be that one. It could be another one. Um, and actually, it might be the one about my dad.
Okay.
You might remember that one.
Okay.
I told you about that, but um, but the here, let me do this here. Take care of that, and maybe have a pathway for one of those two to actually get made.
Okay.
I could tell you, tracking down a saxophone player has not been easy.
That's odd because a few years ago they were all over the place. Huh.
Saxophone players?
Mhm.
Well, okay. Finding a saxophone player that's willing to do it for free is not easy.
Again, they were all over
Because,
at one point in time.
and the sad part is the only reason saxophone is in the title is because the girl that was originally going to do that piece,
Was the saxophone player?
yeah, and she's like, yeah, no, I have an alto sax at home. I'm like, do you still know how to play it? Yeah. Okay. Well, get ready to play that saxophone next week. Oh, crap. COVID. No.
Pretty much.
And so, but yeah,
I was
no,
just
by the
talking with a friend of mine, and we were talking about how everything just changed since COVID. It's like people don't know how to live or be people again. And my friend, she said,
you're also assuming that they knew how to do that before.
living's just gotten a lot harder after COVID. But she
Yes, that is
said
true.
she said that it was due to the quarantine. People forgot how to be people, and I'm like, dude, it wasn't that long. And she's like, it doesn't matter. So
Yeah, it wasn't that long, but by the end of 2020, a lot of places, people are still locked up.
yeah,
And by locked up, I mean quarantine. A lot of places, people legitimately are not allowed to leave unless they're going to the grocery store or, you know,
yeah,
and frankly, that was probably about it. Unless you're going to the grocery store, no, you have to stay in your house. Here in Iowa, we didn't have that issue,
yeah.
but there are a lot of places around the country where that was an issue,
Right.
and then by the end of 2021, there are still some places that are that locked down where they legitimately cannot do anything, go anywhere. Some places in the country were even saying, vax pass, please. Yeah, vax pass.
Yeah.
Show me your vaccine card.
Oh, that's creepy.
Well, I mean, if they're going to act like Nazis, they're going to do a German accent,
Oh, that's so creepy.
But also, prime example, I went to Washington D.C. February 2022,
Right.
and I could not get into restaurants unless I showed a Vax pass. If I had a vaccine passport, I could get in. Not even showing a negative test was going to be good enough, even though regulations in Washington D.C. said that's all you needed.
Right.
Either show your vaccine pass or you could, show a recent negative test, to which I had one of those.
Yeah.
Even then, they wouldn't accept that unless I had the Vax pass.
Mm.
And so basically the only thing I was allowed to do in Washington, D.C., which this is not necessarily bad, especially if you know my love of learning and stuff like that.
Mm.
But the only thing I could actually do in Washington, D.C. was go to museums.
Right.
So, and I mean, truth be told, it's either go look at the monuments or check out the museums. That's pretty much what Washington, D.C. is good for.
Mm.
And so, and that legitimately was the reason, was a drawing point for me, was the museums. Those were all free to get into, and they also didn't require a vaccine pass.
Right.
And so, yeah. But we're talking about Theater Genesis, not
Right.
policies from 2 years ago.
I was just about to pull you back on it, just like, hey.
Yeah, I mean, I even had to wear a mask on the plane to and from, and then of course a month later, FDA was allowed to drop the mask mandates.
That was nice.
Yeah, a month after getting back to Des Moines. I've not been on a plane since.
Okay. So, where do you personally want to go by the end of this year? Where do you see yourself? Where do you see Theater Genesis? What is it outside of producing the 2 movies and these 2 competitions? What are your goals? Do you want to have a website?
I told you the goals there.
Okay.
Get one of those 2 actually on a clear path to being made. All right.
Now,
I doubt by the end of the year, I doubt they're going to get made. Right.
What about like websites, Patreons, your own podcast, anything like that?
Well, as you saw, I do have the YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, uh, Patreon, we'll see. I'm not even entirely, I'm old. I'm not even entirely sure how Patreon truly works.
Okay.
All right. Just I'll send all my stuff out on a catalog. And if you want it, just send me back a check and I will mail you a DVD. I know how to make DVDs. All
Okay.
right. Yep.
I'm sure there's a market for that.
You get 3 movies for $1, and
Now the other thing is, I mean,
but you have to pay the bill later.
And then
Columbia House. Oh,
yeah, I know, right? Columbia House, I miss them, and I miss Science Fiction Book Club and all the rest. But okay, now what about? I heard a little bit of chatter that you might start a podcast about this stuff, or a vodcast, video podcast, with your YouTube channel to go on, kind of like every week and.
I mean, I've thought about it. At the same time, there are people far better at it than I am as far as how to make movies and stuff like that. I probably watch them. All right. I've recently started playing with Premiere Pro. It was fairly easy to pick up since I already had editing experience, but there are still a lot of tricks that I don't know in Premiere Pro. And so you'll find me on YouTube looking at, how do I do this? This is how you do it. Like, oh, sweet, done.
Theater Genesis Productions, huh?
Yeah. But
everybody starts somewhere, and I think YouTube has been one of the best teaching modules for all the people out there that are a see and do. I think really YouTube as a teaching module it blows everything out of the water, honestly.
It really does. I really should have asked for those questions in advance. It's like, you may ask me this one, this one, this one. All right. That's only 3 questions. I'm like, yes, I know. So
well,
you're lucky I don't charge you for this time.
You're lucky I don't charge you for this time. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm just promoting a studio that's not much of a studio at the moment, but it will be someday. Don't get me wrong.
Well, let's see. So
right now it's a fledgling.
It's a fledgling studio. Now,
yeah, it's old enough. It should at least be walking and talking.
I was going to say 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. That's 5 years.
Yeah, but it's 2024 right now. So it's actually 8 years.
Wow.
Arthur is only about 2 months older than Theater Genesis.
Wow. It's insane.
It really, truly is.
Now,
14 years. Hard to believe.
Is this the year you guys are going to have t-shirts?
No. Money is an issue.
Nah, I get that.
Money is definitely an issue. I still have my t-shirt from 2022. You want to wear it? You might want to wash it, but I mean, it's there.
Do you know where it is?
Yeah, I do. I do. It's in the dirty clothes pile in my bedroom.
Oh my God.
You might want to wash it. I think there's ice cream stain on it.
Don't worry. I think you're going to wash it. All right.
Oh, you say that, but
well,
I mean.
Is there anything else you'd like to discuss as far as dreams, plans, any future collaborations coming up?
No future collabs. I'm not above them. Don't get me wrong, but as of right now, no future collabs. Dreams, we have them every night almost. What else was in that?
No, that's about it. Now, I do know that you've got a couple of short films coming up in the works.
Yes, both with 48s. There's 48s coming up. Mm-hmm. 48-hour film project this weekend coming up. Then October, there is a 48-hour horror film project. And then
now, you were also, I believe, weren't you collaborating a little bit with Chris? Does he have his own studio or Chris?
No, Chris of Wondercraft Emporium does not have his own production company.
But he does have all the tools.
Yes, he actually does work as a cinematographer.
Right.
And camera operator and stuff like that. He also is way better at editing than I am.
Well, he does. He has to do it professionally. He has to do it for work. So that's
Yeah, he does it for a living.
even if you are inexperienced, you have to get quick. You have to get good really quick with that.
Yeah, but also like another friend of mine, Trevor. I God, it's hard to believe I met him 21 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, he should be. I think he's. You know what? I'm just going. I'm not going to bother. He should be. He should be well into his 30s by now.
Okay.
But yeah, no. What was I about to say about Trevor? So I've worked with Trevor before. Oh, that's right. He's the brother-in-law of Mike, younger brother of Mike's wife.
Nice.
And I've worked with him. I worked with him a couple of times. He was the main editor on Ludwig Experience.
He did a fantastic job.
Oh yeah, yes he did.
But Trevor's always been kind of talented. He's been pretty talented.
Yeah, he also does this for a living.
Nice.
Legitimately does this for a living. I think he actually has an office he has to go to every day to edit film and work on film. It is crazy. He went to school for it.
No, right? I said that's amazing. That's awesome. That's like
I thought you said crazy. But yeah, no, he's fantastic to work with. I don't get to see him all that often, but we're both living our lives.
Right. So. Now he's an Aquarian horse, isn't he?
I believe so, yeah.
Lots of talent in the horsey clan. Another quick thing. Now, this has been a great interview. Would you be willing to come on a week or so before the 48 horror?
We'll see. We'll see what the schedule says. More than likely, yes.
Okay.
I can't. I mean, I don't want to look desperate or anything like that. So,
for the love of God! All right, fine. I'll see you a week or so before the 48-hour horror.
You'll see me here a couple minutes after we're done with the interview. So,
all right. Is there anything else you'd like to say? Bring up any projects you want to pull people's attention to besides the 48-hour film this weekend? And then also, when does the 48-hour film premiere?
That's a great question. I legit don't know at the moment. I do know I'm in filming group A. Give me 2 seconds. I could probably find out.
Okay.
And come on. I probably should look on Facebook. Now, truth be told, I probably will find it faster
on Facebook.
That way.
Yep. Facebook is so glitchy, but oh my God, it has so much info.
Okay. Not join a team, but
no, already have a team going.
Well, no, this is where I actually found the new editor that we have.
Nice. And I know that's something that's always so rough when you do these short gigs, having to do everything and edit at the same time. That kind of just kills you a little. So I'm glad you found a secondary editor.
Oh, no, he's a primary editor.
He's a primary
trust
editor.
Me.
Okay.
Kick off in 2 weeks. Here we go. That might, because there is like a schedule. Yeah. By the way, if you have $198 and you want to make your own film right now, you can still register. Registration literally doesn't end until I think 6 o'clock on Friday nights.
Nice. Okay. Are there any spots left?
I don't know. That's Sam's job.
Sam Twomey, right? He's
Sam
heading up
Twomey.
Sam Pace-Twomey. He is heading up the 48-hour film, correct?
Yes, he has been the main producer of the 40-hour film project here in Des Moines for most of the last 20 years.
Wow.
I'm going to do this again. Not stop cam. Share screen. Yep, that's it right there. Okay.
All righty, here we go.
And so, but yeah, and here's how it's going to work. All right. Friday, let me do this again.
Okay.
And where is my StreamYard? Oh, there it is. All right. So, anyway, Friday is kickoff. We will get sometime between 6 and 7. We are going to get the required line, required character, required line of dialogue. I said line. Required line, character, and prop, as well as our genres. And then from there, we will have 48 hours to write, film, and edit a 7-minute film.
Okay.
And we have to have that in by 7:30 p.m. on Sunday night.
Okay.
And so, and then we have the premiere. We have the screening premieres.
Okay.
The screening group. Our team is actually in Group D.
Okay.
As you see,
just scroll back up.
I know. I will in a second. Just showing you right there, screening Group D.
Okay.
Right. And then, again, screening Group D here. Premiere will be Tuesday, August 6th, 2024 at 7:15 p.m. And something else you're going to love here, Alicia.
Okay,
right?
you're going to want to run that past me. I'm putting it in the comments so people can actually go back and see it. There. Okay.
What are you?
Tuesday,
August 6th,
6th,
2024.
2024, 7:15 p.m.
Yep, that's going to be at the Fleur Cinema.
Fleur Cinema. All
Here, let me do this. I will paste that, send that, and you can actually put that into the comments as well.
Okay.
And so, and here is they must have changed it because last time I looked, we were in the same team. We were in the same group as Tick.
Oh, wow. Now, Tick, honestly, Tick is pretty close to my heart. You know, I love Jeanette Roth, and she is a huge part of Les Roth's group, Tick. They are, they're the Trans-Iowa Canal Company, Tick, is with the Des Moines Science Fiction Society. And oh my God, you know, I love Jeanette. She does all the music. She's amazing. She loves tarot. She's super knowledgeable. She holds classes. I really need to get her on the round table or the Tuesday night talks because she is just so amazing. Anyway.
Right. But, yeah, I just found them. They're now in Group B. Okay. A few days ago, they were in Group D.
Okay.
Which is our group. And so
and they always put out
which means I'm gonna have to keep a close eye on this in case they move us as well.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, all right.
I wouldn't mind being in Group C. But
if anything happens,
that's got one genome short.
One genome short is awesome too. Actually, they're all awesome. Who am I kidding? I love them all.
Oh yeah.
But
see, right now I also up there. There he is.
Kung Fu Biker Mafia. Oh wow.
They're probably. I bet they do their. I'm willing to bet they're going to do their writing and stuff, and possibly even do some filming at the Kung Fu Tap and Taco, which is a bar on the south side of Des Moines.
Nice.
In which they do park their bikes there a lot.
Oh my. All right, my dear. So we have to wrap up here because it's 11:06, and I know you have to get up in the morning.
I do.
But any last things you would like to say?
Wish us luck, folks. Because if there's one thing I've figured out over the years with the 48, something's going to go wrong. It just happens. It legit happens every time. You kind of have to plan for it. but we are also going to remove that from the stage, and I'm going to stop sharing as well. But we are. It's an amazing weekend. Almost nobody gets sleep. Last year was the exception, not the rule.
Right.
Because last year's 48, we wrote most of the night, almost like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Got back up. Didn't even start filming until like 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
In the afternoon. Shots are set up. Everybody's there. Finally, everybody's there. We're still working on the script upstairs at the shop, and then 2 hours later, we're done filming at the shop. And that we filmed a total of 3.5 hours of footage.
Yeah.
All right. 3.5 hours of footage, and then pretty much once that's all done, it's almost entirely all on Chris to get fixed, get finished up, and he did it. He had, and everyone else managed to get a full night's sleep.
Oh my God.
Versus the guy who won, the team that won last year, I messaged. He actually put a call out on Facebook to see if anybody wanted to be extras. Okay. We were done filming. I'm like, I messaged him. I was like, "Hey, are you still needing extras? We're open. We're done filming and everything. It's in the editor's hands now."
Oh gosh!
He messaged me the next morning. "Hey, sorry I didn't get your message. I'm still up."
Oh,
not
okay.
Not a. In fact, I said next morning. He messaged later that afternoon on Sunday afternoon, saying, "Hey, sorry I didn't get your message. I'm still up." Meaning he probably had not slept since Thursday night.
What?
Yeah, that's how crazy these 48s go.
Yeah.
And trust me, when we're working with Southsider Studios, there were nights where we didn't get done till we didn't wrap up filming till like 3:30 in the morning. It is, that is nuts.
Yeah, just a bit.
I've had the goal to be finished filming no later than 8.
Yeah.
If anything, it's, because after gets to a certain point, people are starting to get cranky. People are starting to get bitchy. Last year for Long Live Death, right? Everybody sat. I'm like, "Hey guys, can we get these last few shots done so we can get going?" I legit there, and the people are sitting around the tables like, yeah, we'll get to it. I was like, and I'm just thinking to myself, motherfucker, I'm the one who has to edit this shit. Come on, let's get this going. I was the one getting cranky because I knew I still had a lot of work left to do. Right. But yeah, it gets crazy. So, wish us luck. Come see us. Tuesday the 6th. I'm going to have to make sure to put that in for to make sure I'm off at a certain time that day.
Well, no, I get that.
Unless, of course, it rains.
True. And that is one thing about your job. Good Lord. I mean, the rain
it's rained
days
a lot this year.
Ridiculous.
It simply has rained a lot this year, and there's not much we can do about that. But
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
and there's that nebulosity.
Well, and then also
nebulousness.
If I can arrange for the abuela to watch the tiny Webster, well, larger size Webster,
medium. He's a medium-sized puppy.
Then I will definitely be with you, without the horns, of course.
No, keep them on.
Okay.
We'll make sure to sit right in front of a really short person. If you sit in front of the short person.
No, that's mean. I don't want to do that.
It actually makes a difference at the Floor Cinema because that does not have stadium seating. It legit still has the slope seating. That theater, I think that theater opened in the 70s, maybe the 80s. Wow. I'm not sure when it opened.
Okay.
But I saw Ghostbusters there as a kid. I also saw Stargate there. Batman the animated movie.
Okay, this is awesome, but we're gonna save it for next interview.
Adam's
Mwah.
family.
Say goodnight to the happy people.
Good night, happy people. Hey, good night, real people too.
Like and subscribe for more content. We'll catch you next time. And I will be back to the stories soon, I promise. And I am so super excited to be on the writing team for Theater Genesis for 2024's 48-hour film project. Hopefully, I will be on the horror one as well, but we don't know till we get there. So,
right. So, anyway,
right.
As one of my good friends likes to say, tuck and roll.
Tuck and roll. Night, night, Dennis.
Good night.
All right, folks. Well, that was Dennis McCullough of Theater Genesis Productions, and his team will be in the 48-hour film challenge this weekend. And their film premiere will be August 6th, Tuesday at 7:15 p.m. at the Floor Cinema. And I am so excited to be on the writing team this year. So awesome. Thanks for tuning in to Alicia's Desk, and I will see you again soon. Mwah! Like and subscribe. And I am actually going to do the outro.